Alright, hi everybody, Nifty Thrifty Girl. Making a video today featuring a Singer 401A. This is a slant shank machine, Slant O Matic as they called it back then. The 401A is the quote top of the line of all the models that were available. When there was the 401A, which is this one, that has over 30 built-in stitches accessed on the internal cam stack. There's a 403A, which is a straight stitch machine until you add a cam. There's a 500A, which is the Rocketeer. Same basic function, lots of built-in stitches, except a little different cosmetics, physical appearance. And there's a 503A, which is the same. It's straight stitch until you add a pattern cam. And there's also the 404, which is a straight stitch only machine. So there's quite a few different variations of the Slant O Matics. This machine was built in the 50s. It is an all-metal machine. It's a direct drive. There's no belt. And like I said, it does have over 30 built-in stitch patterns accessed on the internal cam stack. And here's some frequently used stitches here on the chart right inside the panel. If you don't want to put in, and it also uses the top hat cams, which is like this, named so because they look like a top hat. Now, the original accessory box, which is included 5 cams. These 5 stitches, well, 4 of the 5 stitches are not built into the internal cam stack, so these 4 out of the 5 stitches can only be made with a cam. The other 17 stitches can be made with the cam that's already in the machine. There are 22 total cams like this available for purchase. Some sellers include all 22 cams. Well, that's kind of redundant because 17 of the stitches are already built into this machine. You don't need to put a cam in to do them. Seriously, they're already there using your letter combos with the 2 dials. Now while I got this out, I'll show you. The original double stack accessory box is included. It includes the straight stitch needle plate, a pack of needles, special purpose foot, button sewing foot, straight stitch foot, seam guide, 2 vintage metal bobbins, 2 plastic bobbins, and underneath that on the second layer you've got 4 of your 5 cams stored here on posts. You've got an original Singer screwdriver, you've got a Singer ruffler, you've got a slant shank zipper foot, a slant shank hammer foot, and a slant shank binder. A couple things are not in the box. The big screwdriver is not included, the lint brush is not included, but as you can see, it's about 90% complete. And if you have the original manual, which this does not, the manual sits right on the top, and you can close the lid, and it'll be fine. The box is good structurally, it's just not the prettiest cosmetically. It has a lot of scratches, but it does work to hold all of your slant shank feet. This machine uses class 66 bobbins dropped in here in the front. It uses slant shank feet and accessories. There is a buttonholer available for the 401. It's in a pink spaceship looking case. That's your slant shank, or there's an actual one in a box that's labeled for slant shank. Do not have buttonholer to include. This is your stitch length and reverse lever here. This is your throat position here. Feed dogs do not drop on a 401. Your stitches are accessed by different letter combinations of the 2 dials. The front dial pushes in, the rear dial pulls out. Now my husband has worked and worked and worked for a couple days on getting the residue off this machine. It was unbelievable. I still see there's some still on it, but it was unbelievable how much residue was on this machine. It was just brown everywhere. It was brown, and here's your bobbin winder. It was brown all in here. It was just nasty. So it looks 100% better than it did. It's tabletop ready, or you can put it in a cabinet or a carrying case. But it is tabletop ready as it sits. Serviced and ready to go, as all of our machines always are. The power cords are in good condition. There is a cord for the foot and a cord for the power. 2 individual cords, both are in good shape. So here we go. starting with what I call a like a domino stitch. This is a stitch I always use to make sure it's balanced, and it is, because stitches on both sides are even. And over here, we'll change this to B. Left knob on B, the right knob on L. There's your zigzag. And there you go. These machines can be a real bear when it comes to tension. As you can see, this one's even kind of being a little grumpy. Sometimes it's hard to get the tension dialed in on these machines. I mean, it's just a fact. It can depend on your fabric, depend on the size of your needle. It'll depend if you're using a metal or plastic bobbin. A lot of things are a factor in whether this machine has balanced tension. So I've just loosened up the bobbin tension. Let's see if that looks any better. And now it's too much. And now I loosened up so much that the bobbin tension is coming on the top side. So I'm going to tighten it down again a little bit, trying to stay out from in front of the camera so you can see what's going on. And it's not a lot, it's just like, you know, like an eighth of a turn. You barely turn it and it makes a lot of difference. That's a little better. Not my favorite machine in the world, but they're nice, they're popular, so when I find one, I try to save them and restore them and offer them to you. I'm going to do the cam pattern. There is a cam already in here. The 5th cam is in. You put this all the way on 1. You leave it on B for zigzag, and you go up here to special. Now you're on your cam. You're accessing your cam on the top. Here's an arrowhead. And there's your arrowhead I accessed on the cam. There's your domino stitch that I did on the internal cam stack. And as you can see, it took me a minute to adjust in the tension, which is normal for the 66 machines. And that is your Singer 401A with original accessory box included.